guys, my name's Carolyn, welcome back to my channel. So today is my July book haul. I went nuts this month, as I do every month I suppose, but I've got some really good books, so let's get started. So the first book is First Time in Forever by Sarah Morgan. I was sent the second book in this series, which is the Puffin Island series. It's a contemporary romance, and I was sent the second book for review. I don't like reading series out of order, so I purchased the first book so I can read this and then I can get on to reviewing the second book. I don't know anything about this, but Puffin Island is the series name and it sounds cute, and it's a contemporary romance which I love, so I'm looking forward to reading this one. The second book is a first in a new series by Yasmin Galnorn, and it is Flight from Death. This looks really good. I love urban fantasy, and yeah, I just really like the cover. I haven't read anything by this author before, so I'm looking forward to checking her out. If you've watched any of my other videos, you'll know that I am collecting the Agatha Christie facsimile editions, and this one is Murder on the Links, and I like this book a lot. I have read it before, although a long time ago, but these editions I'm collecting, I now have 9. I normally collect 2 a month, but they are quite expensive, and because I spent a little bit more money on other books, I decided to just buy 1 this month. But when I get to 10, I may do a video all on these because they are really nice editions. The next set of books I bought are from a series, and they are by Kristin Ashley. I have only read 1 other book by her, Motorcycle Man, which is I think the 4th book in her Dream Man series. I didn't realise it was the 4th book at the time. I thought it was the 1st book for some unknown reason, but I really did enjoy it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, and I have just finished binge watching Sons of Anarchy, and I will go into that a bit more in my monthly favourites. But because I'd finished it and loved it, there was a huge gaping void, and I had to fill it. So I thought, well, what better than to fill it with books? And so I asked around, and this was a series that came up a lot, and it's the Chaos series. It's a motorcycle club contemporary romance series. The first book is Own the Wind. I have read this already. I really loved the first half, the second half not so much, but I'll go into that more during my reading wrap-up video. The second book is Fire Inside, and the third book is Ride Steady. So I'm looking forward to cracking on with those other 2. Hasn't quite filled the void left by Jax, but it's better than nothing. The next book is The Girl in 6E by A.R. Torr. I've already read and reviewed this on my blog, bookchickcity.com. I'll leave the link below. It's about a young woman who locks herself in her apartment because she has homicidal tendencies, and the story tells us her life and how she lives her life and pays her bills. There is a thriller aspect to this as well, and a little girl goes missing, and the heroine of this book thinks that it could be one of her clients because she's a sex cam girl. That's how she pays her bills. But it was a good read, and as I said, I'll go into this in more depth in my reading wrap up. I used to read quite a lot of classics up until maybe 10 years ago when I found genre fiction, and I haven't really read any classics since then. But after watching lots of videos on YouTube, it's really got me wanting to read classics again. I have a load on my bookshelf, but you know what it's like when you've had books for a really long time and they've just been sitting on your bookshelf. They lose a little bit of their lure. So I thought, well, to get me back into classics again, I would buy a little selection for myself. So the first is I went for 3 of these cute little penguin little black classics, and they are only 80p each. The first one I bought was The Yellow Wallpaper by Charlotte Perkins Gilman. I've already read this. It's a very short story and it is very intriguing, and I will go into this more in my reading wrap up. But I did enjoy it. I used to read a lot of poetry as well, and I haven't read that for such a long time. So I thought, why not try some Emily Bronte poems, and this is a little book called The Night is Darkening Round Me, and I haven't tried these poems yet, but I'm looking forward to diving in and hopefully it will rekindle my love for poetry. The next little black classic is Oscar Wilde's Lord Arthur Saville's Crime. I've read most of Oscar Wilde's work. I've loved everything that I've read of his. So I thought this was a really cute way of just diving back into his works, and I think it's just a short story, it's not a play. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. The next book is Morris by E.M. Forster. This was written I think in 1914, but it actually wasn't published until 1970. It's gay fiction, and I do like reading gay fiction, gay romance, anything that is LGBT. And so I thought I would give this a go. It does sound really good, and it doesn't seem to be that long. I think it's under 200 pages, so I don't think it will take me too long to read, as long as I can get into it. But it does sound really interesting, so yeah, I'm going to give this one a go. The next 3 books are from Penguin English Library. And the first one is a book I have already read. I read it a long time ago, and I have a really lovely hardback edition of it, but I wanted the softback edition so it's easier for me to read the second time round, and that is The Tenant of Wildfell Hall by Anne Bronte. I absolutely love this book. It's one of my favourite books, and yet I think it gets really overlooked by her sisters, and I don't really meet many people that have read this book. It is a dark book, and yet I just found it really, really good, and I'm looking forward to reading it again. I'm not really a big rereader. I'm a big believer in, if you love a book and you've read it, then that's it. I won't read it again, because I'm always worried that as years go by, with getting older and accumulating more experiences and just seeing life in a different way sometimes, is that you will take a different view of that book when you reread it, and I think that's a real shame, because I like to remember my books how I felt about them at the time of reading. So I don't often reread, but with a couple of my classics, I know I'm going to love them because they're classics and I love them, and I just know I will. I don't know why it's different to genre fiction, but it just is for me anyway. So I will be rereading this one very soon. The next book is North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell. I haven't read anything by this author before. I don't know anything about this book, although I have heard of it, so I'm looking forward to reading this and seeing what it's all about. And the next one is The Mill on the Floss by George Eliot. I haven't read any Eliot before, that's why I purchased this, because I thought, why not give the author a go? So I'm looking forward to reading this one. I don't really know that much about this one, although I have heard of it, and I think it was made into a BBC TV show at some point, I think, but I'm not sure. But I have heard that it's really good, so I'm looking forward to trying this author for the first time. So following on with my motorcycle club romance, I bought the next 3 books, 2, 3 and 4 in the Reapers series by Joanna Wild. I read the first book, Reaper's Property, last year I think it was, and I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. So I thought I might as well, while the ebooks were fairly cheap, I think they were like £2.49 or something per book, I thought I would grab them while they were at a good price. The second book in the series is Reaper's Legacy. Then we have Devil's Game, and then the 4th book, Reaper's Stand. So I'm looking forward to reading these because I am. The next 2 books I saw on another YouTube channel, but I can't remember where, but if I do, I will leave a link below. The first one is You by Caroline Kepnes. This is a psychological thriller. It's about a guy who works in a bookshop, and he sees a girl come in and he's instantly attracted to her and begins to stalk her. But going from what this YouTuber said in her review, it takes a turn and it's not actually as it seems. So it did sound really intriguing to me, so I'm looking forward to reading it. And at the time I downloaded it, it was only 99p, so I thought,
bargain.
The next book is Bird Box by Josh Malerman. This is meant to be a horror. It was compared to The Birds by Alfred Hitchcock and also to Stephen King. So really high praise there. So I thought I would download this, and it was only £1.49, but it does sound really good, so I definitely check it out. So on to audiobooks. This month I only downloaded 2, which is good for me. The first one is Rome by Jay Crownover. This is the 3rd book in the Marked Men series. It's a new adult contemporary romance. I have listened to the first 2 books, so I thought, well, I might as well continue the series. I haven't started it yet, but I'm sure once I've finished the current audiobook that I have on the go, that will be my next one. The next book was Rain Falling by Paula Marinaro. This is the first book in the Hell's Saints MC romance series, and I have started that. I think I'm halfway through. At the moment, it did start out really well, but it's taken a dip. But we'll see how the second half goes. That's it. They're all the books I bought during July. Quite a mixture of different genres, but I'm looking forward to reading them all. Let me know what you have been reading or what you've bought during July. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.